on my Facebook page. Where when I'm done, I'll just connect again.
I think we will get some problems regarding the video and audio.
Yeah, that is why, Matthias, for everyone's convenience, everyone. Matthias, for everyone's convenience, I have muted their videos, their audio from there. So just give me a second.
Yeah, I think everybody should close his audio.
Oh, 8 minutes. My disconnect valid. स्लो क्यों हो रहा है?
Please start. Please start.
स्लो हो रहा है. एक मिनिट. हे इतकं रिफ्रेश इतकं होतं आहे ना की ते हे नाही होते, एका ह्याच्यावर स्टेबल नाही राहत. पता नाही.
Guys, please start.
So, Matthias, I think we should start the presentation now. A couple of minutes, I think so. Mr. Nishikant Ahire would like to address the crowd that has been attending this webinar. So I request Mr. Ahire to share a few words before starting. Sir, please,
yeah.
you can.
Yeah, good afternoon, participants, and good morning, Mr. Schroeder.
Good morning.
It's my pleasure to welcome you all. I'm Nishikant Ahire, CMD of AMT Group, which was founded in 1982. And we are into manufacturing and marketing organization, having distribution network all over India. We represent German companies in India and have manufacturing ties with them. I thank every one of you to accept our invitation and joining for this webinar. I welcome you all. Talking about present situation, after a long lockdown due to coronavirus situation all over the world, things are getting better step by step. There is no answer to anyone at this moment. We don't know what is the end. However, we need to accept the situation and set a new normal and get back to work. In India, we had a unique situation and we were the only country where manufacturing industry was also under lockdown. On the other hand, global manufacturing industry was in action with the necessary precautions. However, 100% lockdown in India was needed because of the population and political situation that have helped us to control the coronavirus situation to some extent. I'm happy after the announcements by Honorable Prime Minister and Finance Minister in last 5 days. That is encouraging for manufacturing industry. Now the doors are open for defense, space industry, in a big way. They're wide open, I will say, for MSMEs, and I foresee huge business opportunities also for the global platform. We need to gear up for getting into high-tech manufacturing. There is a lot of potential. We need to invest in good machines, good machine tools, cutting tools, CAM softwares, and also importantly, good work holding and fixturing solutions. We have a long association with Allmatic Germany, who is market leader in Europe in providing work holding solutions. AMT represents them in India and also have manufacturing licenses for some of the range in India. As I always say, AMT is a solution provider for vibration isolations of the machines, for flexible work holding solutions. We are also now into productivity improvement solutions. We will be organizing various webinars regularly on various topics, which will be beneficial for manufacturing industry. I once again welcome you all and Mr. Schroeder for this learning session by Allmatic and AMT on work holding. Thanks for joining. Over to you, Deepak.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Thank you
sir.
for those remarks, Mr. Ahire. I will once more like to appreciate our partners, Ms. Allmatic, and especially Mr. Matthias Schroeder, who has taken out time. He has made a presentation for the Indian market. He regularly keeps on visiting India, so he knows the situation over here. He knows the market well. And I again thank you, Mr. Matthias, for taking out time in your busy schedule and providing us with this opportunity to take a learning lesson. With that, I will end my remark and I'm handing it over to you, Mr. Matthias. You can start your presentation. If there is any, I think so, the participant list has reached 100. That is a good news for us. That's a huge news for us. So just for all the participants or for our sales partners, our customers cannot join. This is a live webinar. That means the video of this is shared on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is AMT Group. So you just have to go on our Facebook page, hit a like button, and you will be able to see the live presentation on the Facebook, our Facebook page. So I request for those people who cannot join at this point, or basically our sales partners whose customers would not be able to join, they may go to our Facebook page. Just you have to hit the like button and you will be able to see the live screening. So I'm handing it over to you, Mr. Matthias. If there is anything, I am keeping my video unmute. So if there is anything, you can communicate to me directly. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for the invitation, to give me the possibility to hold this webinar. So I thank to you and to Mr. Ahire and to AMT. Warm welcome to everybody. I can't see, I see really there are more than 100 participants. So it is very impressive for me that so much people are following your invitation. At first, I want to introduce myself and our company a bit, and then we speak about the techniques. Hope everybody can see the screen now. Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, Mr. Matthias, I'm not able to see the screen sharing.
Oh, why the same problem like before?
You can try it again, please. Please.
Just a minute.
Yes. Mr. Matthias?
Now it will work.
Yes,
right?
we can see your screen right now.
Okay. We will go. Okay. My name is Matthias Schröder. I'm working for AMT clamping systems since 2002, and I'm responsible for the sales worldwide. You can see my contact data also below. Something to the history of our company. The company was founded in 1973. We was a part of Saurer concern from Switzerland. In 2001, we was bought by Mr. Jacob, and so we was becoming a member of Jacob Group. In 2005, we built a new plant outside of Kempten, and we moved to this plant, which is located deep in the south of Germany, close to the border of Austria, and also very close to the very famous castle Neuschwanstein. Our company has around 60 employers and 15, 16 trainees. Some pictures from our milling department or from inside of our company. You will get also a video after that. That's our milling area, the grinding division, the assembly. We assemble the devices in a batch between 20 and 100 pieces. And I can give you a short video. Hope it will work. So you can see also some snow because we are in the south, very close to the mountains. Everything is developing by ourselves in our company. We design our products in 3D data. And also we are producing all the parts, all the devices in our company. We buy only some screws and some small parts. All the other things, all the other items we need, we're producing in our factory in Germany. So we are using a pallet system from Liebherr connected with 2 Stark-Haggard machine tools. So we can work without people for one shift. Our grinding division, it's climated, so to get a high accuracy. Our measurement quality control, we don't control every vice. From time to time, we keep some samples from the production and check it. This is our trainee area. Yeah, it's an order. The video is not brand new. We changed this measuring tool already.
बहुत
to a
अटक
new
अटक
one.
चल रहा है, बहुत खतरनाक गंदा नेटवर्क है।
And you see, we use our vices also in our factory. %85 of our production are standard products. That means we have 85% are standard vices. We were starting in 1973 when we was founded with the high pressure vices HD. In the end of the 19th, we developed the new ANSI vices LCTC version. In 2005, we was the first company which was offering in workholding gripper technology, especially for milling machines, for workholding on milling machines. Then in 2010, we designed the central grip as the next developed step of the T-Rex. In 2016, we designed a Titan 2. It's also a gripper vise, which give you the possibility to check the clamping force during the machining. So we call it clamp assist. In 2017, we developed for 5-axis machine, especially a self-centering telecentric vise. The other 15% of our turnover are customized solutions in shape of or in form of clamping towers, setups, and special jaw solutions, and so on. Generally, we divide the clamping in two clamping ranges or clamping arts. It is one side, it is conventional clamping. Conventional clamping means you have a right angular or parallel workpiece, which you are clamping on flat jaws. And on the other hand, Allmatic was the first company which has developed the gripper technology. So this gives us the possibility to clamp also raw, unmachined parts, castings, and so on, which is normal or which was not possible to clamp before on a simple vise. In former time, Allmatic or one part of the starting part of Allmatic product range was the basic vise. This basic vise we removed from our product range in 2018, but these vises are still under production, under license by AMT, under license from Allmatic. And it is branded now for the Indian market and maybe also for the Asian market as AMT Allmatic Vise Basic. With this vise, with this kind of vises, it is very strange to work, because you can see our strongest guy in the company reach only 2.8 tons, and he has to do it, or the operator has to do it the whole day again and again, and that is really bad for the employees. That was the reason why we developed a vise with power intensifier, with power booster. With this kind of vises, also a small lady can reach 4.5 tons or more with very less torque, with very less force. So it is very pleasant, it is very comfortable for them, and they can do the whole day again and again, no problem. The heart of such vises are the power intensifier or power booster, which is fitted into the spindle. We have a very small area, so these items are really small. We have to differentiate in two types of power intensifiers. Most in former time, and also a lot of our competitors, especially from Asia, still using hydraulic power intensifier. That means this is a small hydraulic cylinder, which is where we have a change of the volume of oil. So you make a big stroke with low force. That means that is the torque it's coming from the torque from the hand crank. Press the cylinder into the oil, and we transmit a big stroke with low force in a small stroke with high force. So we get the high clamping force at the vise. The problem of this kind of power intensifier is the leakage of oil. during the using the vise, the sealing area will wear, and so you have a small leakage of oil, and in this case the clamping force will falling down during the machining. And this because the power intensifier is inside of the spindle, of the high pressure spindle. You can't see if there is any small leakage of oil, and you can't feel that the clamping force is going down.
Matthias, you can go ahead. I'll mute the participant, please. You can go ahead.
Okay. Such power intensifiers are still using also in Germany. For example, our competitor Hilmar Röhmheld is still using on his newest vices. He is using this kind of power intensifier because, in our opinion, it is not safe with the oil with the hydraulic cylinder. Allmatic developed a mechanical power booster, power intensifier. We are working on the same base. We have a long stroke in this area. We press this pin between the rollers. By spraying the rollers, we transmit this long stroke with low force into a small stroke with high force. So the procedure is similar to the hydraulic version, but there's no risk to lose any oil. So we are clamping very safe. And this stroke is important for the clamping force. I come to this later again. Here you can see how the pin is spraying and transmitting the long distance into a small stroke of the pressure plate. Here we can see inside of our high pressure spindle. So in the area of the hand crank, you can pre-select the clamping force. For smaller vices, you can select it in 11 steps, starting from jaw width 125. You can pre-select the clamping force in 4 steps. So you turn the main spindle with a hand crank. You put the hand crank on the hexagon, turn the hand crank, then the main spindle, the main thread spindle, transmit the movement over the spindle nut to the mobile jaw. If the mobile jaw touch the workpiece, this coupling is working. The main spindle is stopping, and the internal spindle start to work. And press this thread spindle, press the pin between the rollers, like you have seen before. Spray the rollers and produce the small stroke, which is moving the whole system, including the gray main spindle over the spindle nut and fixed jaw. Press with high pressure to the workpiece and clamp the workpiece with high pressure. We will see also a video about this later. As you have seen in the entrance introduction, you can remember that we produced the NC vices in 2 different types of vices. We had the low-cost version, LC vice, and the top-class version, TC. The base at the LC is only visual grinding. The TC is all-round ground. We have also a clamping shoulder in front to clamp the vise vertical on the top face. in this area, we have at the TC, we have for 4 threads to connect it with the enlargement, for example. And we had holes that you can clamp the vise also lateral through the body of the vise. These vices we removed in 2018 also from our product range, and we fitted, we did it together to one vise for a good price. AMT, our partner from India, is still producing the LC version under license for the Indian market. So all of you can buy this vise in this shape from AMT. It is branded under AMT Allmatic, and you can get it by our partner from AMT. Okay, that's what I said you just before. Allmatic replaced these 2 types of vices by one vise. So we developed last year the NC8 vise. It is a perfect vise which has all the advantages, or nearly all the advantages of the TC for the price, for nearly the price of the LC vise. So the NC8 is ideal for all days using on milling machines, especially on 3 and 4 axis machines and milling centers. It is used for conventional clamping. As you remember, we divide in two kind of clampings: conventional clamping and Gripp clamping. The NC8 is for conventional clamping. So you see, we have flat jaws, and you have the workpieces should have a parallelism better than 0.1 millimeter to get a safe clamping. We offered this vise in 4 jaw widths. So the smallest one is the NC90. That means the jaw width is 90. And the pre-selection at this small vices, as I told you already before, you can pre-select in 11 steps. That's the reason for that is smaller workpieces need better adapting of the clamping force to the workpiece. That's the reason why you can pre-select the clamping force in 11 steps at this small vise. The jaw width 125. We have 2 lengths, the medium one and the large one. So that means the clamping range, we have 2 different vices in a different clamping range. Next jaw width is 160 with a clamping force of 60 kilonewton. The 90 has 2.8 kilonewton. 125 has a clamping force of 40 kilonewton. 160 has a clamping force of 60 kilonewton. Then we have the NC8 200. That means the base of the vise is 160, and the jaw width is 200, and the clamping force is also 60 kilonewton. Additional, we have the NC8 200 heavy duty. At this vise, we have the body of the vise is 200 millimeters, and also the clamping force is 200 millimeters. The jaw width is 200 millimeters. The clamping force is 80 kilonewton. Here you can see the two different NC8 125. This is the most common vise, the most common jaw width, 125. That's the reason why we offer two lengths of these vises. The spindle inside is the same. you have only the body is longer, and you have to if you want to enlarge the clamping range, you have to put the fixture to the next slot. One new feature of NC8 is that we can pre-select the clamping force by hand. At our old LCTC devices, you need a hexagon wrench to change to pre-select the clamping force. Now, at the NC8, you can do it by hand. You pull this item, turn it to the next step, and press it in again. So it's very easy. The clamping force is constant and repeatable, like at every high pressure devices from Allmatic by a mechanical power intensifier. I have shown you this power intensifier before. On the bottom face, we have two serial location holes for 0-point clamping systems. It is a hole with diameter 25H6 and has also a thread of M10. So the distance between these holes is 200 millimeters. And it is not available at the bigger devices at 125, 160, and 200, because the customers sometimes for the bigger devices they prefer 3 holes, and so we are not sure to make it in serial. But for the 90 and the 125M, it is a serial topic. And this hole you can use for AMT 0-point clamping systems, for example, for zero clamp, for shunt, for Fisher and Bolly, a lot of possibilities you have with this dimensions of the 0-point clamping holes. It fits to a lot of different kind of 0-point clamping systems. On the top side, we have also threaded holes for the extensions. That means you can all of these devices, not all, the 90 is not possible, and the 200 heavy duty is not possible, but all others you can enlarge the clamping range by using an enlargement. But you will see some videos later, then you will understand it better. All the jaws are compatible to our old LCTC devices and also to Titan devices. That means if you have bought, for example, a LC device from AMT, then you can use the same jaws also on our NC8 device. The body is ground on all sides for lateral application also. In a tolerance from 0 to minus 50 micron. The geometrical dimensions of the NC8 are the same as LC and TC. The same I said before. You can use this device also together with the device from AMT, with the LC 125, for example, from AMT. We have on the side, we have lateral holes for the workpiece stop. You will see it also later. We have the possibility to connect angular drive, so that you, for example, if the hand crank is in collision with the meshing table, you can use an angular drive to turn the hand crank over the meshing table. And we have a QR code for access to all technical information, accessories, spare parts, and also repair prices. At this video, you can see again the function of the main spindle or of the device, of the high pressure spindle. You put the workpiece inside, move the mobile jaw with the main spindle to workpiece, then the coupling was working, and internal spindle pressed the bolt between the rollers, sprayed, and produced the high pressure over the spindle nut to the mobile jaw. The brace selection by hand, as I told you, you pull this item and press it again back. So we limit the way which the bolt is going, so we can reduce the clamping force and can adapt the clamping force to the required force or the requirements of the application of the workpiece. All our high pressure spindles are protected by rubber seals, which gives you the guarantee for trouble-free use of these devices. Because it is very important that no chips going in this thread between spindle nut and main spindle, because if this thread is blocked, the coupling of the power intensifier can start to working before the main spindle or the mobile jaw has touched the workpiece, and you will not clamp. So it is very important at all vices, all high pressure vices, not only ours, to protect to clean the main spindle and the spindle nut. There should not be any chips coming into this. So you can have some videos for the fusion from LCTC I told you we had before. Yeah, LCTC is still produced by AMT now. So in former time, I told you we need a hexagon wrench to pre-select the clamping force. Now we can do it by hand without any tool. The new LC has nearly all the advantages from TC version. It is grounded all around. We have the positioning holes for 0-point clamping systems. We have the thread holes on the front side to use an enlargement, and the device is grounded to use it also on lateral side. Fixation, I told you, we have side shoulders. You can use it, or you can use the 0-point clamping system. As I told you, it fits to a lot of 0-point clamping systems. So you can align it by the aligning slots with aligning stones on the meshing table and using side clamps. That's a traditional fixation of the vise. One more feature is our click system. So devices are prepared to use parallels, which you can click in front of the step jaws, or you can click also some soft jaws or some prismatic jaws on this. Fixation we had already, I think. Sorry, that's double. We go over this. Doesn't work. Just a minute. There's a summary of all advantages we are did, how we brought both vices together. I think we saw this also already. Sorry. Yeah, the angular drive, I told you already, is also a feature. If you want to fit the vise in the middle of the meshing table, you cannot turn the hand crank. So we offer an angular drive to come over the meshing table, that you can move the jaws and clamp by hand crank over the meshing table. Enlargement, I told you we have 4 threads on the top side, on the front side in this area, so that we can use an enlargement to get a bigger clamping range. This is not available for the dimension 19 millimeters, jaw width 90. But for all others, and 200 is also not available, but from 125 to 160 it is available. So you see we can get a very, very big clamping range. The workpiece stop, I told you also, at the LC vise we had in former time, we had only one thread, but now we have, like at the TC version, we have the NC8, we have 4 threads to positioning the workpiece stop in different areas. One summary of diffusion again. We put these 2 type of vices together to one vise and give them all or most of the advantages of our top class version, and we are with the price we are closer to the low cost version. Once again, we have 0-point clamping systems. Devices are prepared for that. We can save money by pre-selection the clamping force because we don't need any tool to change it. The accuracy of the vise is grounded, lateral and bottom and top face. So we get a very high accuracy, very good parallelism of the workpiece. All the jaws from LC, TC are fitting to to the new NC vise. So if you have already a TC LC vise, you can use the jaws also on the new NC8. And so you can use it side by side also. This is showing only, or once again, the jaw width range I explained to you already. QR code give you all informations regarding service, accessories, technical information from our website. But in case of repair or service, you can also contact our partner AMT for India. In the conventional clamping, we have also double vise. In this vise, you can has also a high pressure spindle. You can pre-select the clamping force in 6 steps, but you have to clamp always two work pieces. You cannot have one empty. You have to clamp always on both stations. And the difference between the row parts can be maximum plus minus 3 millimeters. We have also the click system. I told you already, the compensation is plus minus 3 millimeters of the work pieces. The sail spindle, the mechanical power intensifier, the high pressure spindle, brace selection within 6 steps, and the lining slots on the bottom face, and also the 0-point clamping system holes are on the bottom face of the vise available. Important, you have to take care that you clamp always two work pieces. It's not possible to clamp only one component. Okay. That was the information regarding our conventional clamping vises, NC8. Now we are coming to the gripper clamping, the clamping of row parts, where Allmatic was is still the leader in this technology. You see, such a work piece you can't clamp in a conventional vise. So that was the reason, was one reason to develop the gripper clamping. The disadvantage of conventional clamping is that only the friction is holding you the workpiece in lateral direction to the cutting force. That means only friction is holding the workpiece, and the friction force is only 15% of the clamping force. That means if you clamp the workpiece with conventional clamping, we clamp the workpiece with 40 kilonewton, and we have only 15% in lateral direction. Then we have a holding force of only 6 kilonewton, which is fighting again the cutting force. And that's the reason, that was the other reason why we developed the gripper vise. Here we see the 2 types. On top, we see the standard, the conventional spindle. I told you already how is the function, and you saw also the video. And we see here the gripper spindle. The main difference lies in this area. we have another power intensifier inside. The stroke of this power intensifier at the Gripp spindle is much higher than at the conventional clamping, because we will want to press teeth into a material. And then we need a longer stroke to press the teeth in the material and to establish a clamping force additional. And you see, we have no soft item, no springs inside of the spindle, because we need a very hard clamping, because we want to press teeth into the material we see later. And so if there's a material and you have teeth which should go into the material, and we had soft elements like springs in the spindle, we will press back against the spindles, against the springs. So it is not possible at the Gripp spindle to use soft elements like springs. So we have a very hard clamping. Here I will show you the differences between standard spindle and Gripp spindle. The standard spindle will be operated by a hand crank. The Gripp spindle, we use a torque wrench. We need a torque wrench because we adjust the clamping force by that. Because the stroke, you see the stroke, I told you of the power intensifier is much higher. And we don't know how hard is the material you want to clamp. So we have to limit this clamping force, and this we are doing by a torque wrench. I will explain it later again. I told you already, we have a weak spindle, weak elements like springs in the standard spindle. We have a hard clamping without springs at the Gripp spindle. The brace setting, we can adjust the clamping force before at the standard spindle before, because we limit the way of the clamping of the power intensifier only of the internal spindle which is pressing the power intensifier. Here we don't know what's happened, how deep the teeth will go into the material. So we have to find the limit, and we can pre-select the clamping force also over the torque wrench. We don't produce the clamping force by the torque wrench. We limited the clamping force by the torque wrench. We are producing the clamping force by our power intensifier. Application, okay, it's clear. Standard spindle for conventional clamping. Gripp spindle, we can clamp conventional on flat jaws, on parallel workpieces, on parallel faces, or we can clamp different shapes of workpieces with Gripp. That means the Gripp clamping gives us, the Gripp technology gives us the possibility to clamp raw material. You don't need to have you don't need to prepare parallel clamping phases. That saves time, a lot of time. And the form lock give you the possibility to machine with high speed. To machine the workpiece with high speed, you can have higher cutting forces, because with the form lock you have in also lateral direction, you have the full clamping force available. So Allmatic developed at the beginning TX, you will see tomorrow, for 5-axis machining. And after that, we developed also the Titan range as a new generation of Gripp technology. In this case, we offered a starter model. It is called Titan SC125. And we offer a top model as Titan 2. For these devices, especially in dimension 125 and 160, all the jaws from TC, LC, NC8 from the conventional devices are fitting to the Titan range. So if the customer has already Allmatic vices, he can use this jaws also on the Titan models. We are coming to the Titan SE, this starter model. It is normally our Gripp vices we are offering without jaws. So you can select different kind of, you get a base with a high pressure spindle and you can select the jaws. But for starting, for a customer who want to start, we are thinking it makes sense to offer this like also a conventional wise, including jaws, including thermostats, that the customer can start immediately. You can see with this jaws, which we are offering, you screw the thermostats on top. And so this gives you already the possibility to clamp also round roll parts and right angular roll parts. After the first clamping, the first operation, you can change immediately to the flat jaws and clamp the pre-machined workpiece. The main difference between the two models are the power stroke, or the stroke of the power intensifier. At the starter version, we have a stroke of 2.5 millimeters. Here you can see it again, how it works. We transmit a long stroke into a small stroke with high pressure. And this stroke is important for the function of the vise, to press the teeth into the material and additional to create clamping force. We should have enough reserve to press the teeth into the material, then we lose already some weight, and then additional to create clamping force. Once again, the function of the Titan SC, you see the jaws. These are step jaws, which threads on the top for the thermostats, which you can screw in. And this gives you the possibility to clamp also roll parts with a parallelism better than 0.5 millimeters, and also clamp round parts. You see, the principle of the high pressure spindle is always the same. You move the jaw or the teeth to the workpiece, reach the workpiece, and then the coupling is working. The main spindle is stopping, and the internal spindle is pressing the bolt between the rollers and create the high pressurized, high force. This vise is also producing by AMT in India under our license. Then it is also branded as AMT Allmatic vise TC Titan SC 125. So if you are interested in such vices, you can contact AMT directly. As I told you, we delivered this vise including the jaws you saw before, but all on this vise, all the jaws from our conventional vices are also suitable on this base. So you can use everything, the pull down jaws, the master jaws, block jaws, soft jaws, and with reduced jaws also on this vise. Also, you can use our support jaws and jaws which are fitting where you can fit thermostats. I will explain how is the function. I will explain later when I explain the Titan, the top model. I will explain how to handle all these jaws and these items. So we are coming to our top model, the Titan 2. I think this is wise. It's the most flexible wise on the market in the world at the moment, in my opinion, because we can do everything with it. We offer this wise only now in two dimensions, in jaw width 125 or body width 125 and 160. Nearly 70% of devices Allmatic is selling are in the size of 125. That's the reason why we offer in this size, in 125, we offer 3 different lengths. The Titan 2K, it is mostly contributed for 5-side milli. The Titan 2M as a very, very universal wise, and for bigger work pieces, we offer the Titan 2L. Similar to or it's the same body like the NC8 M and L, as you remember. On all these devices, you can use an extension. So we have the possibility to adapt this device also not only in jaw width, we can adapt it also in lengths in 6 different lengths. 3 plus enlargement, again 3. So that means we have 6 possibilities. And we don't need to enlarge the spindle, because you put only the fixed jaw to the extension. Our competitors, or first all of our competitors, I know, they have also to extend the spindle, which is a problem of costs. If you want to extend the device, you have to extend the device itself plus the spindle. At Allmatic, you extend only the body, because our power intensifier is lying in this area, in the operator area. Okay, here we explain again that the difference between, you cannot grip on our TC, LC, and NC8 devices, because the power stroke is only 1 millimeter, and some of our competitors, they have in their gripper devices less than 1 millimeter. So it is not a safe clamping. At the top model, we have another power intensifier inside with a much bigger stroke. You see the design is different, and we transmitted a very long stroke into a very, very long high pressure stroke, 3.8 millimeter. We need this because this top pedal can also pull down the workpiece. And for this pull down, we need more stroke. So you see, this step by step, we need more and more stroke. And so we developed the power intensifier also. We adapt the power intensifier. The operation is done by a torque wrench. The maximum torque we need is 30 Newton meter. With 30 Newton meter, we reach 40 kilonewton. So it doesn't matter if we clamp on flat jaws, on flat faces, or if we grip. It doesn't matter. With 30 Newton meter, we always press the teeth into the material, and additional, we're producing 40 tons, 4 tons, 40 kilonewton clamping force. Here we compare the gripper pressed with our TC or LC wise and with the Titan 2. This also, we do the same with our competitors. Okay, we press the teeth also into the material with the TC or LC or with the Dressel wise, for example, but After this, there is no clamping force because they have not enough stroke to create additional clamping force. Here you can see, and you can think about what will happen. We have a stroke of 3.8 millimeters and a maximum of 3 Newton meter, and they have a stroke of 0.8 millimeters with a torque of 60 Newton meter. And you saw the result, or you see the result here between our competitor and Allmatic. And additional fact is the clamping force on this small marks is less than 10 kilonewton. So you can be sure you will get vibrations if you do a high speed cutting or something. If you want to use the maximum of the meshing tool. Here you can see the new generation of our support jaws. I told you this vise is one of the most flexible vices. On these jaws, these support jaws, you can use all the small gripper studs or also the gripper set and also the pull down set. I will explain it later, and you will see also some videos to this. The pivot, the mobile jaw also has a pivot function. So if you put the inserts into different holes, you can adapt the device very, very fast to different shapes of workpieces. We will see after some examples which are showing this. Let us see the gripper inserts we have. We have 2 TC gripper inserts, which are screwing into the jaws in different heights with 2 teeth. It's for standard material. Then we have 4 teeth inserts, especially for soft material like aluminium, copper, or brass. Then we have an insert with a carbon insert for a very high strength material. We have also a flat insert, which doesn't make any marks. This area is coated by hard metal, so that we have a higher friction in this area to hold the workpiece also very safe, to clamp it very safe. And we have a round gripper. This is a perfect gripper in my opinion. It is very easy. You can't make any mistake in this, because you screw it into the jaw, clamp the workpiece, and it is clamped. It is for idiots. This video shows you the different kind of small gripper studs, which you can screw into the jaw, the different heights. This is the flat one. It doesn't make any marks at the workpiece. So the clamping area should be minimum 6 millimeters. Then we have the carbon insert. Here we can clamp materials until a strength of 1,400 Newton per square millimeter. With our other teeth, we can clamp workpieces with a material of 1,000 Newton per square millimeter. This insert we have in 2 different heights, so the clamping range can come down with the lower one. And we have an insert with 4 teeth, which is contributed or designed for softer material on a less the strange less than 350 Newton per square millimeter. The next possibility you have is our universal gripper set. This gives you the possibility to that the workpiece can have also different shapes or different height, clamping height. I will show you a sample that you understand it. It will be delivered in a box as a set. We call it universal gripper set. And you can machine also the blocks so that you have a different height for clamping. You can clamp the workpiece in different heights at the workpiece, and you can change the support height. So that the clamping depth, clamping depth is also can be very different. So I can adjust between clamping height from nearly 0 to 29 millimeters. No, to 40 millimeters. I'll show you a video also to this. Yeah, you can prepare the blocks, the support blocks in different heights, and then the clamping depth is changing. And you can cut it more on one side, less on the other side. And so we can have also a difference. Or you can adjust it also by screws, which are also will be delivered in the box. If you have, for example, only one piece, so you can make it really short with the support screws. You don't need to mill the support block. Here, this sample is showing you that also in Z axis, the workpiece can have different heights. The grabbing height, the gripping height is in different heights. So in former time, it was not possible to clamp a workpiece like this in a conventional wise. And also our competitors at the moment can't offer this with standard elements, with shortly machined standard elements. No, so Allmatic in this case is the most flexible wise. The next step is the pull down, which this wise is offering. That we replace the universal gripper set by a pull down gripper set, and this we offer also in 2 different heights. The pull down elements and the support heights in 5 different heights. So you fit the pull down elements on the support jaws, and then you can change the magnetic pins. You can change the different inserts with teeth, flat, with micro teeth, and so on. So you, as I told you, we have 5 different heights of support pins, because it doesn't make the support pins you need, because you will see in the video later, if you pull down the workpiece to the jaw, it doesn't make sense, because the jaw is lifting up, especially the mobile jaw is lifting up because of the tolerances of the jaw, of the pivot function, of the spindle nut in the guideways. So the mobile jaw is lifting up, and if you pull down the workpiece to the jaw, it doesn't make sense. So we have support pins which we are screwing through the mobile jaw, but you will see it in a video later. Here you can see the different inserts which you can put on the magnetic with magnetic pins on the pull down elements. The flat version is also coated by diamonds or hot metal to get a higher friction, to make sure that the workpiece will be pulled down by friction. Here you can see the function. You see this yellow pins are through the jaws, are going to the guideways to the surface of the device, and then we pull down the workpiece to the pins going to the surface of the device, and so you have a perfect parallelism situation. It doesn't matter how much the mobile jaw is lifting up or not. So you can get a very high accuracy in case of parallelism, which is the requirement of all customers, I think. I think once again. That's the video I told you already before. You put the pull down elements. So, okay, you pull down the workpiece to the surface of the device. That's correct. But if you change the elements to another row, and now you would be pulled down to the jaws, it doesn't make sense because this is lifting up. That's the reason why we designed support pins, which are going through the jaw to the surface of the device. And now you get a perfect parallelism of the workpiece. You have to take care to adjust the support height or the gripping height in case of the thickness of the workpiece. So you can adjust it. That you should be in the neutral phaser. Otherwise, you will bend it like here. Now you will adjusted the support height. That epsilon1 and epsilon2 similar, and then you will not have any bending, or you will reduce the bending by this high clamping force. You should not turn the jaws, especially the pivot jaw. That's the reason why we have more rows for the inserts on the support jaw. There is some applications for pull down of row parts, for example. In this case, this phase was already machined, and we was pulling down this workpiece to the surface of the device to get a perfect parallelism between this phase and inside of the pump house. Also, some examples of Gripp technology for you. We have these are the round inserts inside of the support jaws. So this is complete unparalleled workpiece, but clamped in one high. You see the depth. We can use the maximum depth of the universal Gripp set. Also here, it's a shape from I think a golf stick. You see the pivot function of the mobile jaw, so we can adjust it very easy to nearly each shape of workpiece. So we are very flexible. Round parts, for example. And for a time, it was not possible to clamp it with conventional vices. Some more examples in the video. Once again, the machine parts you saw before, you saw the row parts. This vise is also available in as a dual vise, so that you can machine on one vise 2 operations. Here you see also how you can adjust the gripping height. The clamping tower also with the universal gripper set. We have also an eye gripper where you can clamp radiuses. It is a very safe clamping of raw parts. And Allmatic was the first company which was offering this from milling. So that was my part. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope it was interesting for you, for all of you. And maybe I'll see you again tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Matthias, for the detailed presentation for all the Allmatic range. And it has been a really informative session. There are a lot of new insights that has to be learned. There has to be a lot of insights that can be learned. Now, I think so. I will open the forum to some question and answers. As there are a lot of participants in the session, I will not be able to unmute each and every one of them. So I request all the participants that if you have a specific question, you can just put a hi or a hello in the chat box. In turn, I will unmute the audio of the particular participant, and he or she can go ahead and ask Mr. Schroeder the question. So I open the forum to the question answer session, please. We are receiving some good feedback from our sales partners, also from our customers, that it was, yes, Mr. Anil Joshi, I think so. I'll unmute the audio of Mr. Anil Joshi. Give me 1 second, please. थोडंसं हळू चालतंय सर, ते अटकून चालतंय थोडंसं, वरती घेता येत नाही लवकर मला. Yes. Yes, Mr. Anil Joshi, I have unmuted your audio. Yeah. You can go ahead and ask the question, please.
Hi, Mr. Matthias. How are you?
I'm fine.
I hope you remember me.
Would be nice to have a picture from you. Then I can remember better.
Yeah, correct. Achha, I just wanted to check up for the 125 long vise. You have intermediate jaws also. Do you have?
No.
For clamping two jobs, do you have intermediate jaws?
No. For our NC devices, we don't have this.
Okay.
It is only available for the basic vices.
Yeah.
Or as a special solution, but normally we offer our dual vise in this case. Like 2 jobs, but in case of the accuracy you can reach, we decided, okay, it doesn't make sense because in NC vices, you need a very high. Normally, you need a very high accuracy.
Oh,
and
right.
if you use an intermediate jaw, a floating jaw, then you have to the tolerances to enlarge,
Ah, okay, yeah.
or you have to reduce the tolerances of the low
Tolerances.
parts.
Yes. Smaller tolerances.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The
Yeah,
low
thanks.
parts must have very low tolerances if to get a finished high
Yeah.
quality tolerance at both jobs. If you have a
Alright.
floating job.
Right. Good. Thanks, Matthias.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. Mr. Rausai Bole from Mazak, India would like to ask a question. I will just unmute his video. Give me 1 second, please. Mr. Rausai Bole, sir, your audio is unmuted. You can go ahead and ask a question, please. Just give me 1 second. I think so. There is some technical issue. Okay, Mr. Rausai Bole's audio is not working. So if Mr. Rausai, you could just type in your question briefly, I would ask it to Mr. Matthias and he can answer your question if that is the case. Yeah, I think so. We will talk in that in detail. Mr. Yash Panchal has asked a question, Mr. Matthias, to you, that if he wants to know if these vices, Allmatic vices, need any oiling or lubrication.
No, they are nearly maintenance free.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
don't need any. We don't need any lubrication, and I think he's thinking about the what I told you before, the power intensifier with oil. All of these vices are need maintenance all the sometimes per year. We are completely free. Our power intensifier is completely maintenance free, and also we don't have any need to oil or to do some fat to this.
Yes, Mr. Panchal, I think so. Mr. Matthias has answered your question. But going forward, I would like to also add to that AMT is an authorized service partner for all Allmatic vices in India. So if there is any issues arising for Allmatic vices, we are fully capable and authorized to do any kind of service or maintenance if it may arise. And as Mr. Matthias has told, Allmatic vices are nearly free of maintenance. So that is approximately 5 to 10 years. If it is in all right use, it doesn't nothing happens to the vice. If that is, I think so, that would answer your question. Mr. Matthias, it pertains to the basic vice. Actually, one of our sales partners wanted to ask that what exactly can we do to avoid lifting in the basic vice. The job tends to lift even if we are holding a parallel piece. The job tends to lift. So what precautions can be taken to avoid the lifting in the basic vice?
Yeah, normally you should answer this this question because you are manufacturing these vices. Yes. Okay, because we should have a very small tolerances, but the mobile charm must be movable, and if it is not enough, the accuracy of the lifting is too high, then the only possibility is to use pull down jaws.
Yes. Adding to Mr. Jamim sir's question, I would also like to point out at this time that AMT is in the process of developing new jaws or new, what you say, accessories for the basic vice. I would like to tell all the participants right now that we are in the process of making some new additions to the basic vice. Those are pull down jaws, also the gripper jaws. So a lot of additions are being done at now, and a lot of development is being done behind the basic vice. So in the upcoming months, I think so that at the end of the first quarter, we will be able to promote a new line of accessories for the basic wise. So I just am telling all the participants that stay tuned for all the updates from AMT Allmatic, and we will be able to solve all your work holding solutions, work holding problems. Sorry. There is no more question that is being asked. Everyone, Mr. Matthias, as you can see in the chat box also, that they are really appreciating the presentation. Also us, we really appreciate the presentation that has been given by you. A very detailed and nice presentation. We thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Yes, we can anytime, for all our sales partners that are present over here, we can also repeat these types of sessions for your particular customer needs, if you may like, in the upcoming days, as this is the only, I think so, upcoming day that we can see to answer your questions. So please, I request all the participants as well as our sales partners to stay tuned to our Facebook page, that is AMT Group. All the updates which are going to be published are through our Facebook page. So please go to our Facebook pages, like it. Yes, please. Also, tomorrow there will be a similar session, but the topic will be different. A topic will be a more advanced kind of a topic that will be vices for 5-axis machining. Allmatic and has a complete range of vices ranging from the basic to 5-axis machining. So flexibility and advanced work holding solutions we can provide to you. So I request all the participants that are joining right now and also our sales partners, stay tuned and do log in to tomorrow's session, which will be held at the same time, that is 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And that will be on 5-axis milling solutions, and specifically from the work holding side. Yes, Mr. Yash Panchal has also said that we can do a 0-point clamping system in the future. Yes, we'll definitely be doing such presentations in the future every week. So again and again, I'm telling you, please stay tuned to the Facebook page.
Next week we will take you.
Next week, I think so, our Honorable Director is saying that next week we will be doing the presentation on the 0-point clamping systems, which are compatible with our Allmatic vices. So as you can see, all the products that we promote or we sell are interconnected, and the interchangeability between one product to another is very fantastic. So that is why we always call us as AMT work holding solutions and not products. So that is our USP, so to speak. I think so. There are no more
Deepak,
questions. Yes.
Deepak, can you hear me? I have a small question typed on the chat box.
Yes, please, sir. You can go ahead and ask. Your voice is audible, please.
Okay. Now, I just wanted to know, Matthias, hi, thanks. And it was a nice presentation. Just wanted a small query about, do we have a, kind of a case study of the timings of the setting for a same job for a standard voices and Allmatic voices? Do we have some document created for this, so that this will help us to, push it to a customer and, explain them more clearly?
I don't understand.
Mr. Matthias, what the gentleman is trying to say is, do we have some case studies?
Case studies?
If we have some case studies with respect to basic vices compared to LC or Titan vices. So in what is the clamping time reduction that we can get if we use a basic vice and a Titan vice or something like that?
Yes, exactly. For the same type of job.
Yeah, okay. In case of the basic wise, you need parallel faces to clamp it safe. And if you have and you need a bigger torque, you need more force by yourself to clamp the job. And with our to produce the same clamping force all the time with our power intensifier with the NC wise, you can repeat the clamping force all the time without, and you don't need to take care on anything. With the NC8, with the conventional wise, you clamp by hand crank, make 2 turns maximum, and you have exactly the same clamping force all the time. If you use a basic vise, you have to use to reach the same result. You need a torque wrench, and also the torque wrench give you not exactly the same accuracy like a end stop, and the same is. And regarding the Titan vices or the gripper vices, you don't need a parallel to pre-machine a job. You save the time, a lot of time, to produce parallel faces to clamp the job. You can clamp each job, each row part on a Titan vice. So you save a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yes.
One more related question. So do you recommend torque wrench with all Titan vices?
Yes, at the moment we recommend torque wrench on all gripper vices, because we don't know if you want to clamp on flat jaws or with gripper studs or flat gripper studs, or the material is hard or soft, which you want to clamp. That's the problem, and because we don't produce the clamping force by the torque wrench. This is it's
Indicative.
different. It's different to the basic vise. Basic vise, you produce the clamping force by a torque wrench. At the gripper vices, you produce the clamping force by a power booster, power intensifier, and you limit the clamping force only by the torque wrench. So we are on a very, very low torque, and we can limit it. It's a big difference.
Yes.
But we need the torque wrench not to overload the vise, because if you don't use a torque wrench, there's the possibility that you will overload the vise, because if you use, for example, on flat jaws, the complete stroke of the vise, of the power intensifier for clamping force, then these vices will reach clamping forces until 20 tons, 200 kilonewton, and then you will destroy anything. So the torque wrench at the basic vise is for producing the clamping force. The torque wrench at the gripper vise is for limiting the clamping force.
Thank you.
That is exactly correct. I think so. Mr. Anil Joshi has sent an hi. If Mr. Anil Joshi, would you like to ask one more question, please?
Yes. Can you unmute me?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Matthias, will you share the slides in case we need to show it to some customers? And for our better understanding also.
Mr. Anil Joshi, I would like to answer that question. Yes, we can share the slides. We can share the presentation for showing it to the customers. And after this session, I think so I will share in a few moments. I will put on my screen the details, the contact details for our office. That is Mr. Sushil Yadav, which is a product.
Yeah.
So just give me 1 second. I'll share a screen.
Yeah, I know him. Sushil Yadav, I know.
So for all the other participants, I mean,
okay.
You are very well appreciated over here. So this is the contact details slide that is being shared with all the participants right now. I request all the participants to note down, otherwise take a snapshot on your mobile or your laptop. So it can be stored in your computer or your mobile, and you can use it for a reference later. Our website is given, our email ID, and most importantly, our Facebook page for updates regarding the next sessions. If there are no more questions at this point of time, I would like to ask Mr. Chetan Sawant, our company director, to make the concluding remark. Chetan sir, I think so I'll unmute the video. Just give me 1 second. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Chetan sir, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much. That's hi, and thank a lot. It's wonderful presentation. Thanks to all the participants who took time out of their schedules to attend. And the next session of this next episode of this webinar that is followed tomorrow, that is very specifically designed to address your work holding solutions or problems related to 5-axis clamping. One point I like to point out at this moment of time is we in India have been making a good progress with 5-axis machining, and we have a good hold over the market. As of now, we are selling more and more 5-axis vices in the Indian market, particularly people who are in Bangalore. They can take advantage of the situation wherein they can visit the demo center of DMG in Pune region, wherein you can see all the Allmatic vices, 5-axis and other clamping columns in action in their demo center with all their high-speed machining centers. So that will give you an idea of how robust this kind of vices and how flexible application can be. Because knowing what Allmatic has to offer, I think Matthias has just touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the non-conventional sides, because it's a application and functionality when it comes to the iron ore industry and other such industries where non-standard components need clamping, robust clamping, wherein high-speed machining can be done. Other than that, you all are also welcome to visit AMT office, where we have a demo center where we can show all these vices to you, along with other work holding components that we manufacture, sell in India with help of Allmatic. Also, other Allmatic products, other Allmatic vices that we have, which can be shown for demo, or any concept that you need to be clarified, or any project that you are working on for work holding that can be discussed. So I again insist or request all of you to join tomorrow, wherein Mr. Matthias will be taking you through the work part when it comes to 5-axis machining. And we also will be arranging a few more sessions, webinars in coming weeks, specifically designed to 3-axis, 4-axis, 5-axis, HMC work holding, wherein we'll be speaking of a lot of ZPS and clamping columns, along with vices, with and without with ZPS, as well as with ZPS. And also, I like to take this opportunity to declare a very good news from our side, wherein we are now running a full-fledged vertical for fixture manufacturing. We are steadily developing our capacity to deliver fixtures to aerospace industry. Right now, we are delivering more than 6 to 7 fixtures monthly, and wherein we want to scale up the production and the capacity up to 25 fixtures every month. So we'll be arranging one more seminar on this, wherein Mr. Das, who is heading this department, this vertical, will be speaking on this particular subject. So stay tuned. Please do like our Facebook page so that you can get updates regarding to the projects that we are doing in India, along with other news. So you do not miss on any important webinar or any other information that we need to share. And do look forward to the next sessions that we'll be conducting. They'll be as interesting as how Matthias is conducting it. Matthias is a veteran in this particular field, and many of us know him very well. He is an annual visitor to India for MTechs. He's a good help. He has immense knowledge that he can share. So do not hesitate in case you want any question or query that you need to be answered. You can either reach out to our sales team, the contacts are there, or you can write to Matthias, who can try to help you. So I think I take this opportunity once again to thank all the participants, Matthias, you especially, my AMT team, all my dealers and partners. Thank you, and see you tomorrow again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for the ending remarks, sir. With this, I think so. I will. Matthias, do you want to give some concluding remarks, please?
Yeah, it was very nice to have this meeting with all of you.
Thank you.
To give you this information, and I hope it will help you and also your partners in India to increase the sales. And yeah, I'm not really happy to do this only the video. I'm eager to meet you face to face
Yes.
in future.
We do miss your presence here, Matthias. But on a good note, that we had scheduled a seminar for the same, and I think so we are not missing out on any dates, as our honorable CMD has told us that we are not missing out on any dates that we had planned earlier for such types of presentations. So we are happy about that. And with this, I think so I would like to conclude the session, thanking all the sales partners, thanking all the participants, thanking Matthias Allmatic, potential customers also, and thank you again. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Stay
Bye.
safe and take care.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
नहीं हुआ। केबल का